Yo, welcome Flyffers. So today we want to take a look at the Ringmaster and to be more specific to a special build I developed myself, the 1v3 Ringmaster. We already did guides on the AoE Ringmaster or the full support Ringmaster, so if you're interested in this, make sure to check them out as well. And before we are starting, I noticed that only 80% of the viewers are subscribed to the channel. So let's make a deal. You watch this video all the way till the end and I'm sure I earned your subscription by then. And since this is a pretty new build that has never been on Flyff PC, it will be fun, I promise. So at level 15, you will become an assist as on any other Ringmaster build basically. You will do the first job change and there will be guides available for all the job change of course, but they will be coming at a later moment. And then at level 60, you will be a Ringmaster. And a Ringmaster is a class that is using a huge stick and is usually more of a support style, but we made the support kind of class into a damage dealer. This is basically our concept here. And for doing this, we do need intelligence, a lot of intelligence, because this is increasing our damage, and we do need cast time, so because all of our damage is skill reliant. And by using cast time, you will increase the speed at which our skills are being casted. And then we do need some kind of stamina and HP percent, because we will fight, as the name says, versus multiple mobs at the same time without actually being like a full AoE Ringmaster that is going a tank build. And since we are doing skills, mostly our skill damage percent comes in handy pretty much. So we are tanking multiple mobs basically, and to do this we do need to stat a decent amount of stamina early on. So 40 stamina statting is fine and the rest will go into intelligence, so we have a high amount of DPS. And as you can see right here, this is deflected at our decently high health for a damage dealer with like 5k at 60 and 10k even at level 90. And yeah, we will come to it. Our attack seems kind of low, but our damage is based on like a dot and stuff like this, so it doesn't matter that much. We will still be dealing fine damage. So once we are level 45, we will be able to look for a wedge set. I do recommend trying to get this set fully, as you will be able to sell it, because it's really many classes needed and many different playstyle needed. So get this set fully, but don't bother really with upgrading. If you want to, you can give it a slight upgrade, like maybe a +3 and 60% attack, something like this, but don't go over the top here, because at level 75, you will already find your endgame set. And the reason why it's the endgame set is because it's having the skill damage on here, and it will give you a bunch of defensive settings, which will result in us being able to stat that much intelligence and still be able to be a bit tanky. So at the sticks, we can go for a Saint Guardian stick early on. It is a decent option here, but don't farm it. If you drop it, it's fine. Other than that, I would try to just go with the stick with the highest attack possible. And at level 6, definitely switch up to a Guardian stick for the intelligence and HP boost. At level 70, you could consider going for a stick of Iblis because of the skill damage. But since you do want to fight a couple more mobs than like just one, it is also viable to stay in for the Guardian stick until you are able to go for the Angel stick. And the Angel stick is still not your endgame stick, so only go for a +8 upgrade right here. And this will give you the good utility of like increased damage and the tankability that you need to have. Now our rings will be full intelligence, so we can increase our damage. And we do want to have, on our earring slot, we want to either have a Demol or a Might here, because they will give additional damage and increase our DPS quite a lot, because it scales pretty well. Then as our necklace spot, we either want to have a Gur or Pept for more additional HP and HP restoration to increase our tankability. And yeah, let's come to the skills. And we do need, like from our self buffs perspective, we need a bunch of offensives. And offensives I would call like Mental Sign with Intelligence, Haste with like increased cast time. And then we need some kind of defensive things to actually survive the mobs that we are fighting. So Patience, Heats Up, and Cat's Reflex comes in handy right here. And of course, Stone Hand results in all attacks gaining the chance to stun. So we do want to have Stone Hand as well. Now, we do have the Moonbeam. This is giving a damage over time effect and increases the incoming damage as well. So this is pretty handy, and we will get it at level 15 and will result in this build basically being possible to play at a level of 15 starting. And once you're unlocking the Merkaba Hansel Rusha skill, you will be at the full potential of the build. And we already said we want to fight a couple more mobs than just like one. And this way we could either use food and deal more DPS, but we can either also cut down on the food uses by using heal to heal ourselves during the fight. Now, there's 3 more buffs that we can give ourselves to benefit, and this is Protect for more defense, Spirit Fortune for more damage, and the best buff in the game, GT, that gives us attack speed and cast time, which we can both use really well. And we already talked about on it at the full support Ringmaster guide, the skill Holy Cross. There I said it's increasing basically the next tag of your mate, and here we are using it for ourselves to increase the next damage we are dealing. Now let's take a look what the skill tree should look like. We already said Moonbeam is our main priority. We want to have it max as soon as possible. Then get all those self buffs going right here. Get Stone Hand up, and then make sure we have Merkaba at level 60 ready and the Holy Cross following. And this is basically your main set, and then follow those up with the buffs and you're all good to go. If you do have additional points, you can put them into Cat's Reflex and Cannonball, as this will give you more melee block and more tankability. And then you can follow this up with the upgrade of the Heal Rain, and instead of using heal all by yourself, you can use the Heal Rain, which does heal you a higher amount for one skill cast. Now let's talk about playstyle. Early on, as level 90, your playstyle will be going to a mob, casting Moonbeam, then casting Holy Cross, follow it up with a Merkaba, and continue the circle. And while something is on cooldown, basically, you can squeeze in some auto attacks or make sure to heal yourself. And since Merkaba is an AoE skill, and if you would use this 1v1, it would be really ineffective. And this is why we are calling it the 1v3 Ringmaster, or maybe even the 1v4 or 1v5 Ringmaster if you're having really good gear later on. So basically what you want to do is collect 3 mobs with Moonbeam, so you have the dot running on all of them. Then basically fight 1 mob with Holy Cross and use Merkaba all along. And this way you will keep all the DPS running on all 3 mobs at the same time, and you're still able to kill them one by one, basically. And once they're dead, you will collect a new amount of mobs. And the higher your gear is, you can increase those 3 mobs, for example, to 4 or 5. And you will be using a whole bunch of skills, but they are not action slot dependent. So you don't need any activation or anything, but for convenience factor, you could use the ref hold, but it's definitely not mandatory. Since you've added so many int, you do have enough MP for sure. Yeah, this is the special build. I hope you liked it and I earned your subscription by then. If there are any questions regarding this build or any other topic, feel free to ask them in the comments, and make sure to like the video. Cheers!